Welcome back to the Goodness Margin. My name is Shelly, and I share my home with my husband and our 2 kids. So I've been talking a little bit about minimalism lately, and I want to share something with you that I did this week. I tackled our sentimental boxes. Now, we didn't have that much sentimental items because several years ago, before we moved in our house, I went to my mom's and I went through all of the things that she had kept when I was a kid and packed them up into a few boxes. But I have 2 kids, and so I've definitely accumulated some things from 17 years of marriage, having a 13-year-old and a 4-year-old, things that have meant something to me that I just stuck in a box and put in our attic. We all have these boxes or bags or things that are tucked away in closets, in our attics, in our basements. And they're sentimental items that we think, oh, this is something that I can't get rid of. I need to keep this. This is important. And so we keep them, and then they pile up. And one day we realize, what am I going to do with all of this stuff? So I just want to share with you what I did. Maybe this will help you when you tackle your sentimental items. What I encourage you to do is what you should do anytime you're going to go through a large portion of stuff. You need to take everything and put it in one place. Now, if you have a whole basement or a whole attic full of stuff and there's no way for you to do that, then you need to take it by a portion. So say I'm going to divide this up into 4 sections, and let me take this first section and I'm going to put it somewhere that I can work through this maybe over a course of a few days. Give yourself some time because you'll have to work through some of this stuff, but also give yourself a deadline. I gave myself a 3-day deadline. Thankfully, I was able to finish it in a day and a half, but just by coming to it, I did take a step back and then I came back to it the next day. There's a reason that Marie Kondo says to go through your sentimental things last, because it is hard. You have to take some time to really work through some decisions and emotions through this process. If you need to, get help. I did a FaceTime call with my mom because I was curious about some of the things I had, and I wasn't even exactly sure who had made them or where they came from. And so I enlisted help. I asked her to help me figure out exactly what some of these items were. And remember, this is about you and your family. Someone may get rid of everything. Someone may keep everything. But this is about finding what works best for you and your family. No one is asking you to get rid of everything. Be prepared for some emotional moments. I am not naturally a really emotional person. The older I get, I am a little bit more sentimental, and I surprised myself by feeling some emotion rush through when I took a few different things out that maybe were from a grandparent that I was really close to, but they've since passed away. And like I said before, give yourself some time, but also give yourself a deadline. Know that you have to finish it by a certain amount of time. Otherwise, this could really be something that we would naturally want to drag out and not take the time to address this and make these decisions. And know this, while this is taking a lot of time, you will never have to go through all of these things again. Yes, even though our family has fully embraced minimalism, there are times that I've kind of ignored something and then had to go back and address it. But you are not going to have this amount of stuff that you have to go through again. You are taking care of this, and then you will put steps in place to keep yourself from having all of this to go through again. So work through this process and know that hopefully you will never have to do this again. So I felt it was best for me to make some rules. I wanted to be really intentional about what I kept. What is the purpose of each item? So the first rule is, can we use this now? Many times we keep things tucked away. I have my grandmother's crystal, and while I don't use it every day, I want to use it on a special occasion with my family. I want to enjoy the things that we have. Why do we have stuff in our attic in boxes? There is zero purpose for that. So look at something and say, can I enjoy this today? When I was going through our boxes, I pulled out a stuffed animal that had been one of my favorite stuffed animals growing up. Now, there were several stuffed animals that had been mine from when I was really, really young, and I threw those away. I feel like they were probably full of all kinds of germs and dust mites and all of that. But there was this one bear that I specifically remember on a birthday. We went to the Coca-Cola Museum. My dad bought me this bear and I loved this bear. Still in excellent condition. And I was able to wash it, sanitize it, dry it. And my daughter, it's her new favorite stuffed animal. So she's enjoying it today. I also found some hats that belonged to my grandfather. My teenage son is in that stage where he enjoys vintage things. I have photos of my grandfather wearing these hats. And so I would be a little bit sad if he lost one, but now I have new memories of my son wearing these hats. Think about how much more special it would be to enjoy these, to make new memories. You already have so many memories attached to these items. And if we enjoy them, we're creating new memories. My next rule is, will I pass it on to my children one day? I have an American Girl doll that she's retired. She's in excellent condition. I am going to give her to my daughter. I feel like my daughter needs to be a few years older to actually be able to take care of her. So I did keep her. I kept some blankets that my son's great grandmother made for him. I will give those to him when he has children. And so after my children have children, I will have nothing left in my attic as far as sentimental items, because I really thought about, is this something that I would have wanted my parents to pass to me? When I had my child, my mom gave me some dresses that had been mine, and my daughter wore them, and I took photos of her in them. And those are some really, really great memories that I have. A question I get asked often is, what do I do with my wedding dress? And honestly, I'm really not quite sure. My sister took her wedding dress to a seamstress. She cut it apart and had it made into a dedication gown for her daughter. That is an excellent idea. I really, really wish I would have done something like that. I do still have my wedding dress, and I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with it. I haven't really had to think about it yet because it's still at my mom's house. And I know that one day I am going to have to think about it. So it's okay to not really be sure what to do with something, but we should really think about the things that are just in storage, that they're serving no purpose. Let's make new memories with them. Now, if you're going to keep something that you're going to pass on to your children one day, we really need to label it. I just went on my computer and typed out a few notes about something that great grandmother so-and-so made this for my son. And so it's just a little piece of paper that I put inside the bag. And that way, if I unexpectedly passed away, my kids would be able to go through and know exactly what is what. If you're going to keep some of your baby clothes that were your children's and you're going to pass them on to your grandchildren, you need to be sure that you wash them really well. I was surprised at some of the things that I pulled out, and they had some yellowed spots on them because any sort of grease or anything like that, the stuff we have in our attic, it's just sitting up there disintegrating. And so I only kept, I think, 3 or 4 pieces per child that I will pass on to them whenever they have children. And so now we just have one box. It's not full at all. And one day I won't have anything in there, but I will have all of these memories, all of these things that I am creating new memories with, and that I will be able to give them to my children for memories. But I won't be overwhelming my children. There are only a few things that I will be passing on to them. So I really took some time to think of, what is my goal for the end of this? My goal is to have memories that I've created with my family. And if I can use some of the things that I've kept in my attic to create new memories, wonderful. Some of the things that I pulled out that I did donate, or they ended up going in the trash, I was able to look at them and maybe tell my child a story about them, but then let them go, because I will always have those memories. And so now when something sentimental comes to me, I will be able to make a decision about what I want to do with that, because I've created these rules for myself of what I'm going to keep. I hope these few tips will help you to tackle those sentimental things. It's a big task, but I know that you can do it. And I am so excited about the new space that's in my attic. I have a goal to have it almost completely empty except for a few Christmas and fall decorations. And I'm really, really excited that I'm getting close to that goal. I know that purging our life of stuff is just another way to create goodness margin in our lives. If you've enjoyed these videos, I would ask for you to subscribe, hit the bell so that you'll be notified when the next video comes out.